All right, here we go. All right, first day back out. Had to change the schedule a little bit today. Playing in week 0, starting a week early, so still some guys have classes, finals upcoming and whatnot. So had to change the schedule a little bit. Come out in the evening today, allow some of the guys to get to class and still be able to get the meetings and information given to them. But really nothing other than that. So. We'll do that for the first couple of days and then really get back to a normal routine for the rest of the way here on out. So, really it's about the challenges that we face all the time, and that's what we talk about is the game of football is all about the challenges, right? Really, when you start to build your team in January and you're going through the different phases of the year, through the winter conditioning, through spring ball, a little bit of break time, you come back, you have summer workouts, OTAs. Then you get into preseason camp. Well, this is really the next challenge that we have, and it's about the ability to embrace the challenge. All right, be able to go out and attack that challenge every day, see it as a challenge, seeing it as an obstacle that you have to overcome, and challenging the guys. And that's really it starts with me, the assistant coaches, support staff, players, right, to really attack those challenges every day. And there's only one way to attack things. That's with the right frame of mind. To have the mental toughness, the discipline to do what you're supposed to do, and really work in a way so that you get what you deserve. And we talked about that last night with the team, of working throughout this entire preseason camp so that when game time comes, all right, we deserve to get the outcome that we want. And when you put the right work in and you do things the right way, right, it's a lot like life. I mean, you get what you deserve. You've everybody's heard that saying all the time. Well, it's no different in football. So, we have goals as a team. Players have individual goals that everyone wants to accomplish. Well, now's the time to put the work in to be able to accomplish those goals. And as much as anything, it's creating habits. We have to create habits, no different than any other habit in our life. It's the routine of doing something over and over and over. You guys have all heard you talked about the 10,000 reps of something, to become perfect at it. And, that's what it is. You're building habits. And that's what we're doing as a football team right now. We're instilling the toughness and the discipline we have to have as a team. Want to make sure everybody's committed to this team, committed to themselves. And that really starts individually. And really, you have to worry about yourself individually first before you can ever get better as a position, as either side of the football, or then as a team. So we want to embrace these challenges that we have in front of us. Come out each day and have every person in the organization be able to take these things on head on and work to get better every single day. All right, and if we can put the practice to bed, all right, wake up the next day and be able to come up and improve from the day before, all right, then we've done what we're supposed to do. So, it's not going to be easy. Nothing's easy. We don't want it easy. It's the way we want it, and it's right here in front of us. So, excited to be back out.
Okay, questions? Kelly, you want to get us started?
Sure. It seems like you're a lot healthier than you have been in a while starting camp, and is that a credit to what AJ's done with his staff, or anything you guys changed, or just luck? Or
well, going into the second year, you really have a full range of data on everybody. I mean, we do a lot with the sports science, and we've been afforded the resources to be able to implement that into our program and things we do. And we track everything, we monitor everything, and really we try to, last year when you start your summer program, you don't really know what the preseason practice is going to look like, right? You see the practice schedule, you can anticipate it, but you don't have the true data of what it's going to be. Well, when you go through it for a season, all right, now we have the data to back it up from last year. All right, so now as the summer got here this year, we were able to make tweaks and changes in the summer, all right, to be able to let us get here and really the last 10 weeks of summer really simulate what preseason is, so we're able to practice or train throughout the whole summer at that same load that we'll have in preseason. So it's helped us a bunch.
We spoke Monday about retention, the guys coming out sort of knowing where to go and what to do. Do you see that today?
Yeah, the beauty of summers now, these guys get so many reps and so much time together during the summer. The retention I was very pleased with, right? But when things are in the summer, you don't have pads on. A lot of it's player-led. The things you have to work on are the details, the techniques, the fundamentals. It's one thing to know what to do, right? But to know how to do it, why you're doing it, to know those 3 things. Right? You can't be successful unless you know all 3 of those things. Well, pretty much everybody comes in right now knowing what to do. So we're able to start it a little bit faster, faster pace and carry a little more install early on.
Rod.
You have a lot of experience back on both sides of the ball. Does that change how you start out with practice and what you're capable of doing right away?
Well, experience, I mean, there's no substitution for experience. I mean, that goes without saying. You know, guys that have played a lot of football together, definitely helps. But, you know, there's, you know, for years and years and years, we'd have, you know, teams that had a bunch of experience coming back, but we'd still go back and start out at square one. It's really the change in the rules about, what was it, 5 years ago, that allowed the OTAs and the work in the summer and the meeting time, and that's what's allowed us to be able to start at a really different place. And as coaches, we've had to really change that in our head a little bit from the old school way where you come out and it's, you know, 3 plays on day one, you know, 2 fronts, 2 coverages, that sort of deal. It really is a continuation of the summer, right? The only difference is, right, they've got pads on, they got helmets on, and they're more live reps.
David.
Coach, I know it's the first day, but is the butterfly still there? What does that first day of camp actually mean?
This is year 28 of college football for me, and I think it was 3 hours, 2 or 3 hours before practice when the butterflies kicked in. And I was walking out of my office and on the way down here, and I told AP, I said, I don't care how long you do it, it feels good to get the butterflies and to have it, not in an anxious way by any means, just in a, all right, what's it going to be? You know, what's the team going to be? Some of the unknowns, and it's a great feeling. It's a great feeling when it's here, or when you get that, because you know football's here.
Okay.
You have some adjustments now with the ability to have more guys hands-on coach during practice. What has that been like, and how did you make that adjustment? Obviously, you had guys on the staff already that were well positioned skill-wise to step in, and kind of have you approach that?
Yeah, you know, it can be a major advantage, or it can be a major disadvantage. It really can. It's all how you go about it. You know, we spent a lot of time talking through this, what we wanted to do. We've got a few guys that aren't necessarily part of the 10, as we call them, recruitable coaches now, that have, you know, 30, 40 years of experience. So, you know, those are guys that have a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of ability to get out on the field. But, you know, some of the younger guys that have, you know, are 2 years into it, 3 years into it, right, the role really doesn't change for them. Right now, does it allow them to, you know, say something to somebody on the field? Yeah, it does, and not, you know, you're not sitting there quiet and you can't say anything. But as far as those guys' roles, we're not changing their roles. I mean, some guys are, you know, analysts, and they work with a lot of the breakdowns and scouting reports. They help put practice together. Right? They're not ready to coach yet. Right? So I'm not just going to have everybody go out there and say, oh, you know, everybody's trying to go out there and be, you know, Vince Lombardi. Right? We're not trying to do that. So it's very detailed of what each person does. Everybody has a job to do, and it's up to each individual coach to do that job. And, you know, as long as everyone stays in their box and does their thing, does what they're supposed to do, we have a chance to have success and take advantage of it. Right? But as soon as somebody gets out of their lane and starts trying to coach somebody else, and now you got one kid, or a freshman for that matter, who's got 3 different things coming at him from 3 different people, and it's all different. And, you know, you're not gonna progress that way. So, you know, we're not gonna have 20, 25 guys out here running around coaching, telling guys what to do. It's not going to be a lot different than it really has ever been.
Jackson.
How do you feel about the depth at the running back position at the start of camp?
Yeah, I mean, you know, running back's a position that you always want to have more, okay, because it doesn't take much at that position, just the durability of those guys. You know, one cramp here, you know, one ankle here, one helmet comes off, now all of a sudden you're down to your 3rd, 4th guy. So you got to have guys, you know, I think in a perfect world, you always want to have 5 guys that you can count on and reliable to be able to get in there and get reps. And if something happens in games, 5 guys that can, you know, be able to get in there and carry the football. And the number one thing is, you know, hold on to the football, right? And I don't care, you know, whether we have 3 backs or we have 13 backs, right? If they're going to be on the field, they got to hold on to the football, right? And that's really a challenge for these young guys, you know, that come in is the ball security, because, you know, the game's faster, the guys are bigger, they're stronger, they get to you quicker, right? And you can't get away with the things you did, you know, when you were in high school. So, you know, that's the big point of emphasis with those guys.
Rick.
Coach, I know we're still a month away from the first game, so I'll refrain from asking specific, you know, game questions, but the stage you're playing on, the fact that you're in another country, there's only a few teams playing that first weekend. And obviously a lot of eyes will be on you for people who are waiting to see college football again. what does that mean for the program to be on a stage like that and have all those people watching?
Sounds like you spend a lot of time wording that question. That was a heck of a job. I give you props for that one. I really do, because that's a very answerable question. No, it's a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity for Georgia Tech, for people to see the GT on a worldwide stage. To have College Game Day to be there, to open up the college football season. So many eyes on and look, yeah, we could talk about so many guys on the football team, but it's not just about that. It's so much bigger than that, and that's the reason we made the decision to play in the game, because it's an opportunity for people to see Georgia Tech, right? To see what the Georgia Tech brand is, to see who we are, and on top of that, to be able to play in a country in Ireland that, in the city of Dublin, it's so just the mentality of the people there, the blue collar, the hardworking, they're good people, very welcoming. A lot of similarities in who they are as people to really the DNA of this football team. The blue collar kind of, scrap, fight, claw. A lot of pride in where you're from. I see a lot of similarities. So it's a great opportunity for us to go over there and play.
Good to see Sylvain back out there. He's a full go. Yeah,
full go. Took all the reps, and it was good to see. I think at times he's didn't know if he was a big guy or wanted to slim down and be a smaller guy. But I mean, I don't care if he's 260 like he is right now or 230 like he's been before. I mean, I don't think he has an ounce of fat on him. But he looks, the speed and the twitch that he showed out there today, along with the size, the girth that he has. I mean, I think he's 265 pounds now. So excited to have him back out there. Adds a ton to the defensive line. Come a long way since the spring when we were fighting to get two groups out there. So it's really good to see him back out. And plus his leadership. He's played a lot of football. He's very well respected by all his teammates. Doesn't say a lot, right? But when he does, people listen.
You've added some players from the portal since the spring, like the Romello Heights, the Vandenbergs, those type of players. What can you tell us about those guys?
Yeah, the line of scrimmage guys, it'll be a few days before we can tell a lot as far as true contact and ability to play at the line of scrimmage. But from what I've saw out there today, from what I've seen this summer, Romello has really good speed. He's strong. He's got great length. Really good takeoff. Really looking forward to him being able to help us generate pass rush and improve in that area. JJ, again, I think he's probably the strongest guy pound for pound. Total weight, from squats clean. He's a 700-pound squat guy. Close to 400-pound clean. I mean, just phenomenal strength that he has. But he's also got good athletic ability, and everybody really enjoys being around him. So they've brought a lot of value. Thomas out there. Again, another guy's played a lot of football on the defensive line. Right, so we've really helped ourselves there. And then some of the depth we brought in on the back end with, Zach, Jaden, and those guys right away. They stepped in this summer and didn't look like they, like it was the first day. So excited for those guys to be able to add some of the depth in the back end, create competition. The more competition you have, the less complacency you're going to have. And we really believe in that. The more guys we can get to play football for us this year, the better off we're going to be.
Kelly, you want to wrap this up?
I think one of the more noticeable changes is the tight end room. You had a lot of guys banged up in the spring, and you now have a really full room with between the transfers you brought in and the two freshmen. Just can you talk about what you're seeing from that room and the growth there?
Yeah, well, numbers to start, and we're going to use tight ends. We use tight ends in a lot of different ways. It's a very stressed position because it's not just lining up at the line of scrimmage and blocking the defensive end. I mean, we a lot of motions, a lot of different things we do with those guys. They're smart kids. Fortunate to bring some guys in that have experience in playing in big games. They know what it's supposed to look like. They know the work ethic that it takes to be a championship team. And then Brent not being out there in the springtime, having surgery, and it was one of those things where he had the decision to make after the season to have the surgery, and it was a risky choice for him. Wasn't going to be 100% if he had the surgery that he was going to be able to come back, and he wanted to be a part of this team and wanted to be here, and it was if he could be more than 100, it would be. But he was 100% successful, and he's been a different person since he's been since he's been full go. Adds a lot of value. Not just that tight end room, but as a leader on the team. He's speaking up. He's vocal. He's not afraid to speak his mind, which is important, and especially in this day and age for a young person to speak up about what's right. And he's done it all summer. He's a guy we added to leadership for what he's done. So what in the springtime was a very thin position, I think it's going to be a strength for us again this year.
Okay. Coach, thank you.
Anything else?
Everybody, thank you guys.
Appreciate it. All right, go Jackets.